Shaking my shoulders here in the boxcar with my buddy Don. We got some popcorn, buddy, that we stole from this man named Ron. It's only cheddar flavored, and that's okay. But hey, let's get on this with our show. It's the Boxcar Buddies. It's the Boxcar Buddies. We are the Boxcar Buddies. Two hobos in Chicago that want to talk about movies and junk. We love to talk about bullshit. We love to talk about anything that isn't poppin' zits, 'cause that's gross.
Super gross. Who wants to talk about that? Not
Dr.
me.
Pimple Popper.
That's right, and that's why we brought him over here. Dr. Pimple Popper, thank you for joining us in the boxcar. How are you?
Quite good, actually.
Are you? You're looking a lot healthier than the last time you were here.
Why, thank you. I've been keeping up with my vitamin C, and it has brought color back to my normally gray skin.
I can see that, and you are bright and chipper. And what can you tell us about why in the world you wanted to become a doctor of popping pimples?
It was actually pretty satisfying. One of my greatest fetishes is popping.
Really?
So anything that pops, I'm like, woo. Originally, I used to create balloons at the Lincoln Park Zoo.
Sure.
And then I saw one man, and he just had an enormous lump on his forehead.
Gross.
That's disgusting.
Why-
Please stop telling your origin story.
Yeah, we don't even...
When he came up to me, he said, it hurts. It hurts so bad.
Uh-huh.
He kept poking it, and just poking it, and it would pulsate.
Ew.
I'm gonna stop this guy.
Okay, Dr. Pimple Popper, this was a
That
mistake.
was when I pulled out my shears, and I said, I've got you, cuz. And I gave him a good pop.
No! You can't just pop people at the zoo, and that's fucking disgusting.
He deflated like one of my balloons. It was atrocious.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Go away. That's enough, Dr. Pimple Popper. Thank you very much for coming by. We're done with this now.
I'll be back.
Yes.
If you ever need a good cyst popping, you know where to...
Get out of here. Jesus, wow, really sorry about that. I can't even begin to explain what I might have been thinking when I thought he would be a good guest.
Yeah,
for the
Don,
show.
tell me, what did you think he would make him a good guest on our show?
Most likely all the helium that I had ingested from the night before. I was doing whippets with the gyms, with...
I was doing whippets with the Lions. I had a whip.
Oh, Indiana Jones style.
Yeah.
If he ran a circus.
Yeah. I just whip it.
Wow. That's sounds really cool and impressive. Different kind of party that I was at. But yeah, somebody got their hands on one of those large balloon filling tanks, one of those big like CO2 guys, or but filled with helium.
And you just
exactly just like that. And we just sat there and we each had a pack of like little balloons, and we just had our own. And occasionally you'd strap it on the mouth of that thing, and you'd fill it up and pop it off the mouth, and then just.
To our younger listeners, make sure never to ingest too much helium.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. It's like
It will make you float off the ground and into the sun, like most balloons.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's a sad fate for balloons.
Also, whatever face you're making when you ingest it, it's going to stick that way. Helium has this face stickativeness that is sought after by a lot of cultures for different reasons, but either way, you don't want to do it.
Yeah, a lot of Swedish
unintentionally.
cultures intentionally absorb a lot of helium so they can have that like suction face.
Yeah, it's like it's very primitive version of Botox. You know, it's sort of like the old school way of doing things. Once
Yeah, they
helium
thought
was
that
discovered.
it would thin out the cheeks and give you fuller, lusher lips. In some cases, it works.
Yeah, smooth foreheads. A lot of smooth foreheads over there.
Yeah, not a single wrinkle because it's all been stretched out.
But anyway, that's what I was doing, and that's when Dr. Pimple Popper walked out of Susie's tent. You know, Susie Blue. She's got the metal foot. And she wandered out of the tent, and so did Dr. Pimple Popper. And I don't know, I didn't ask either of them what
Why
they were
didn't you
doing.
invite Susie Blue? That would make more sense because she's got a metal foot. I have a
she
metal
didn't-
hand. We could have bonded.
She didn't really approach. She kind of clanked her way
Okay,
over by
so
the
I'm
fire
gonna go
and-
after the guy who regularly carries around a rusty pair of scissors to pop unicorn horns off people's heads.
I didn't know that he had that. I didn't know that because when he came out, what he did was he closed his off-white, like, I don't want to call it a lab coat, but like it is a coat of some kind.
It's a doctor's coat.
Yeah, it's probably like a dentist coat or like somebody.
Same thing.
Yeah, they probably do use the same thing. So
They all
but
get
it's
it from like
off-white.
the same doctor warehouses.
Somebody's probably making good money just selling the lab coats to the docs and scientists.
You work at a vet, well, you get a white coat. Hey, you work at a grocery store, you get a white cloak. Everyone gets a white cloak.
Yeah, so that's
You, sir, you, the one that's in the dogfighting arena. Do you want a cloak?
Yeah, I do.
Well, great. I have just the cloak for you. It's got a dog paw on it.
Wow, that's perfect.
Yes, to showcase to everyone that you murder dogs.
I like it when two dogs fight, one of them to the death. I can't stand it when two walk away. Dogs should be killing each other. If not, we should be eating them. Those are the only two uses for dogs. Now, hand me that coat, mister. I've got killing to do.
Well, speaking of killing, Don,
I think we just killed any audience that
we
might have been listening.
killed any chance for any sponsors is what we did.
Oh, well, I mean, that's not us. That's
Them. They're
That's-
losing out on great opportunities to work with the Boxcar Buddies. Hey, if you ever want to contact the Boxcar Buddies, there's two ways. You can always check out Boxcar Buddies podcast at gmail.com, or you can go to Gregslist at gmail.com. Wow, what a great way to start off the show. Donald Kleppen
and
who
Greg
are
Broderick.
That's me. Who are we? We are two homeless guys that live here in the great city of Chicago. And we purposely took to the streets on our own because we were tired of society and how boring it was, but we realized we always like to talk about movies and games and bullshit that we come across. And
that we do.
we figured that why don't we meet up every week, sit down, and just shoot the shit together.
Hash it out. Maybe there'll be some hash, some corned beef hash makes its way into our
Hopefully
empty
some
tummies.
hashish.
Yeah, some hashish as well. A little bit of an altered state. That's another thing we like to do. Greg and I both like to escape into content, whether that be video games, music, movies, books, other drugs, I mean, just altered states of all kind.
Are you okay there, Don? It sounds like you're having a bit of an episode.
I really wish I had saved some of the helium for today, but yeah, I'll be okay. I'm also
Are
really
you sure
hungry.
you're going to be okay?
I'm also really hungry, like super hungry, more so than normal.
Well, how's your
And,
chest doing?
Foggy. A lot of steam buildup.
Yeah,
in
I
there.
can see a lot of steam buildup. It's a lot of air.
I've been really into the steam since Steampunk Miniman. There's just all he was talking about was all that the uses of steam and how it is in the future. And
Yeah, everything was great until this canister blew up in my face.
yeah. Steam is not without risks.
Steam hurts
It does.
really bad. Mm-hmm. As you can tell from my boiled face right now.
Yes,
Steam hurts.
and your bruised self-esteem, if I'm not mistaken, because that was also, when you bite down on something, it doesn't usually bite you back that hard. I know, so, right? Feeling kind of inside and outside bruised.
The only thing I want to feel right now is my face.
Yeah, it's boiled. It's boiled. Well, maybe that was what I was thinking with the Dr. Pimple Popper. I think I was just maybe
These aren't boils, it's just boiled because it had hot steam hit it.
theoretically then it's one large boil. Your face is just a large boil right now.
My face feels like I was a rubber band that was stretched way too far out. And you know how you keep stretching rubber band, like the friction of it starts to get hotter and hotter?
Totally.
My face is on fire.
Really hot? Here, let me feel. Let me feel. Whoa! That is really scalding.
I don't have
man.
a fever, but holy shit, it is hot.
That's like sunburn squared.
I tried putting ice on my face, and it just kept melting away.
Yeah, I know, dude.
The closer it got to my cheek, the more boiled water would appear on my cheek.
Did you try putting an egg on there? Did you try slapping an egg on the side of
I
your face?
did, and it ended up sunny side up.
Oh.
It tasted good.
Okay. Maybe we should get some eggs.
We're not using my face as a griddle.
This is a
You
great
are-
opportunity.
You have lost all chances of ever using my face as a griddle.
Come on, man.
I just want some aloe on my face that won't evaporate once I get close.
Aloe, Greg. Here you go. There's the aloe for you. Scummy.
Oh my God!
What are
Scummy,
you doing
please.
here?
Just cake it on, man. Just
There you go.
cake it.
Here we go, Greg.
Oh my God!
That's good, ain't it?
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, boys. Didn't mean to step on in, but one of my plants produces aloe, just sort of as a byproduct.
More. Just keep pouring it on.
There you go. I brought the pack. There you go.
Oh
Make
my
use of it. There you
God.
go, man.
No.
Yeah, I heard you. No, don't eat it. Don't be eating that stuff there. It's not supposed to be inside. It's for your skin.
But my ego's been burned too.
But you got to keep some of it for tomorrow, right? It's not going to be going away just today. You got to be slapping that on there for the next 24 hours or so. Wow.
But it will be cleared up.
Yeah, that's right. That's gonna wipe that all away. You're gonna feel it's gonna be cooling on you, so you can get some sleep, and then the rest will sort of heal it up there.
I feel like a pan that was at like 300 degrees, and then you put it under cold water and it gets all steamy and shit. I feel like that, and it feels good.
Scummy, thanks for bringing this stuff by, man. That's how did you end up knowing about Greg's condition? Well, I heard through the grapevine, as it were. Greg, man, you guys had a run-in with that steampunk mini-man in the sewers a couple of weeks ago, yeah?
I bit down on that dude's jetpack, and it popped like a goddamn stick of dynamite.
Yeah, and that's how Greg's face ended up like that.
At least
but, yeah.
he fucking evaporated into just blood mist.
Yes, so how did you get word of that, Scummy? Well, it's not like you can do something like that in the sewer and that no one's going to be talking about it. You think you blokes are the only ones that hang out in the sewer?
What the hell are you doing in the sewer?
Yeah, what are you doing down there? Well, I'm looking around for sewage plants, ain't I? People throw away all kinds of good
You're not
stuff.
doing like some kind of weird like cross-pollination thing with like sewer life and plants, are you?
Are you trying to bring back like the sewer crocs of like the 1700s?
Are you trying to
What are
make
you
like
doing, man?
plant crocs?
I'm not saying I'm doing anything specific. I just like to go around there and see what I might find, right? I've got me metal detector. I've got a pocket full of trail mix, and I just go down there for like 2-3 hours and you just look and see what's down there. People flush all kind of stuff. And yeah, some of them made their way into my plants, and it's produced some interesting results, all right? I mean, I don't know what to say. We hung in the sewer because we were looking for a place to record, and
also wanted to be somewhere cold.
Yeah, so it was kind of a one-time thing, but we're not regularly going down there, and we're certainly not taking anything out of there once we go.
Well, I got the
that's
squeaky chair.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Greg did find a pretty sweet chair down there. So
I've been rolling around in this for the last week.
it's pretty serious. But all right, so I take it back. Sorry, Scummy. That's totally legitimate. You can grab stuff from the sewer, I suppose. Yeah, all right. I wasn't really looking for permission or nothing, but whatever. There you go, man. Take the aloe. I'm gonna go down there right now, actually, because I got some stuff I left down there to see what kind of effects the sewage air is gonna have on organic matter. What?
Cool.
Yeah.
I left your payment at your place, Scummy. I was there a couple hours ago.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, man. I'll see that when I get back. I'll hit you guys on the later. Okay. See you.
I did owe him a lot of money.
Well, the doors, I'm guessing, right? Like,
It's a mix of the doors, a couple of the plants. I did eat his PlayStation a couple weeks ago.
ate it.
Yeah.
Why?
I was hungry.
How did it taste?
Crunchy.
Did you have a game in there when you ate it?
Yeah, I think Devil May Cry was in there.
Ooh.
And I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry. Well, only 50% of that collector's edition is good.
Oh, yeah, so there you go.
Like, the only ones you want to play are 1 and 3, maybe 4. No one likes 2.
The rest, good for a meal. Good to be crunched.
Yeah, the other 2, fuck them.
Yeah.
They stinky.
Yeah, they do. But
stinky.
Anyway, to try and bring everything back on track, Greg, before we were interrupted, I was going to tell you that this past week, since we parted ways, I found a gently used iPod.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How gently?
Vigorously. It seemed like it was vigorously used, actually. It was
How scratchy was that screen?
The screen was super scratched up. I couldn't see anything on the screen, and in order to, like, get it to work, I had to, like, tap with, like, the drug fingernail that I've got, like, to split.
You had to, like, press down on it a little bit just so
Yeah.
you could see some of, like, the ink start, like, popping up.
And I was pressing on it so hard that, like, every time I did, little other cracks were, like, spidering from the ones that existed because it was just, like, I had to press down on the thing hard enough and it was already compromised, as it were. But there were some headphones still plugged into it. It was just discarded on a park bench, and I was like, okay.
It's mine.
Yeah, I'm going to see what's on here at least. I'm just going to check this out. And I plugged in the old headphones. Not too crusty, not too gross, thankfully. So it was the sound quality was decent. And I just
Was it a little crunchy sounding?
a little bit. Yeah, the fidelity was not excellent, but I made it work, I think. And then I pressed play once I finally got it working. And the only thing that seemed to be on the iPod was this new album from Dave Matthews Band. The album is Come Tomorrow. And it came out...
I didn't even know that Dave Matthews was still making shit.
Still cranking it out, man. Still cranking out albums. This is the first album that they've released since 2011, Away from the World. I believe that's when it came out, 2011 or 2012. And so Come Tomorrow was released in June of 2018. It's very recent from when we're recording this now. And I'll say off the bat, I am a Dave Matthews fan. I know that it's a polarizing band. I know that a lot of people
It's one of the
love
big
to rip
three,
on 'em.
the big three bands that no one likes.
Except for me and a lot of other people, actually. Dave Matthews is... I understand it. People love to rip on it. It's one of those bands that people just love to rip on, but they make great music, in my opinion. And so, to
In
me...
your brain hole.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. And I liked this album too, and the songs, there's 14 tracks on it. The songs, I think 9 of them are not brand new in the sense that they've played them on tour over the last 3 years. Like one of the songs,
So it's just a rehash album.
no, none of the songs have been on albums before. It's like songs they wrote while on tour and in the process, and this is the first time they've just recorded them and like released them and stuff. Of those, a lot of them are, sort of favorites, but I'll just say the album has a lot of songs on it that I found stuck in my head the entire, for the 2 weeks I was running around with the iPod. The Virginia in the Rain is one of my new favorite songs. It's like the 5th track on the album. It's just... Overall, the album as a whole sort of trends in this direction that Dave Matthews has taken, which is like quieter, a little more intimate. It's not loud with the drums. It's not like super jammy. They're shorter songs. They're more intimate, a little higher pitched, like higher octave on the vocals.
Like they've shifted the pitch up so high to tell that they haven't, made an album in 8 years.
No, it's like Dave sings higher, It's like the lead singer just moves up an octave. And
So, do you think he's been taking helium then? Help him out?
I don't know. If he does, him and I are.
Hey,
him and I are
Davey!
buds.
Hey!
Why don't we get this take a hit of this tank right here? I got balloons for days, man. Let's do this.
This one's shaped like Tigger's head.
Go ahead, take a rip, buddy. No, do it. You take the rip. Don't you walk away.
I don't think Dave Matthews
Probably
would really
wouldn't go very
appreciate
well.
you jamming a balloon into his mouth.
I just need to force this friendship to happen. I just really need to make sure that we can be buds, and I think that's probably the best way to go about it.
We're gonna be best friends by the end of the day, whether you like it or not.
And if we are, I'll let you go. That's how friendships form, right? It's risk, it's reward.
Help! I've been stuck in this homeless guy's basement for years.
If you would just cooperate and go to the movie with me, it'd be fine.
I don't want to sing Virginia in the Rain anymore.
Yeah, but
Let me sing Skylar in the Boxcar.
Oh, Dave. Oh, it'll be fine. But anyway,
You know what? He should make a song dedicated to us.
he should. I'll write him. I'm gonna write him a letter.
Yeah, send him an email through Greg's List. Be like, hey, this is Don, your biggest fan.
I think it'll turn out excellent.
Come to this address with the song, or else.
Yes, you have to.
You have to leave it really threateningly.
Well,
And
that's
then he'll
the only-
respond.
That's the only way that I'm going to write it. Yeah. threateningly. But yeah, dude, I really enjoyed Come Tomorrow as a lot more than I was expecting to, because I thought going into it, even as a fan, the band has changed a lot over the years. I mean, this is a band that was great in the 90s, and I understand that people, especially like if, you were indifferent in the first place, like you'd think that it would have faded by now, the quality of the music and stuff. And some of the members have died, or Leroy.
Or have their astral projections on the screen.
That would be great.
They've been let out of the Ecto box so they can perform with Dave one last time.
Yes.
For the last 10 years.
It's how they chose to spend their eternity on stage.
Once my body passes, please put me in the box so I can play Triangle one last time with Dave Matthews.
Just for the one note at the end of one song.
This is my final wish.
Yeah.
Incant me, David. Incant me.
Yeah, but it's changed over the years, but Come Tomorrow really it's really, really, really good. Virginia in the Rain, like I said, is awesome. The Idea of You, Here on Out, it's a song about, like, they touch on fatherhood. It's less about partying, and it's more about, like, seems, sort of, I don't want to say over the hill, but it's from the perspective of somebody who's in a different stage of their life. Like, this is Dave is more of, like, he's a family man, and he's talking about memories growing up. He's talking about what he feels like raising kids, and it's just, it's different.
It's gentle dad rock.
Yeah, but it debuted at number 1 on the US Billboard, 292,000 album unit equivalents, and it's the biggest sales week for a rock album in over 4 years. Thanks for letting me use your hand, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this, but yeah, 4 years.
Well, to be fair,
any rock
like,
album.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, because, like, rock, I don't think has really made as much of an impact in probably the last, like, decade.
And then the biggest sales week for any album in 2018. So, I mean, not that I'm not looking at the album
Not to
charts.
toot my own horn, but Dave Matthews is doing so good.
Well, no, that has nothing to do with me, but, like, I mean...
Not to toot my fan horn, but Dave Matthews is doing so good.
What I meant to say is, like, I'm not looking at the chart, so I don't know who released an album. I don't know what this has been released among to compare it to or anything, but it's 6 months into the year. It's halfway through 2018. 285,000 copies of an album I still think is definitely legitimate, and... It's just,
It's because it's like old white guys who are like, I pay for things I like. Whereas albums, I think, that are doing marginally better, people going like, I can steal this. Because I know how internet work.
That is a fair point. There is probably a good amount of buying the Dave Matthews albums versus, like, stealing
Streaming
it in some
them.
way or streaming them illegally. Yeah, but
What's a Spotify?
get it away from me! I need my Walkman.
I still have my Laserdisc player.
Play
On my Laserdisc. It's like a record, but a compact disc. It's inconvenient to both forms. It sounds...
a space movie.
It's worse than both of them combined.
Yes. Yeah, but that's, I won't, keep rolling on about it, but it's just... If you're not a Dave Matthews fan, then you won't listen to the album. But if you are, it's good. It's better, certainly better than expected. I like it better than Away from the World. I even probably like it better than Big Whiskey and the Krugux King, which I think was 2008, the album before Away from the World. And there are more songs on this one that I found myself thinking about and waking
Beating
up
your
with.
head too.
Yeah, or
humming along.
waking up with them stuck in my head even, and wanting to play the album again so
Staring
I can listen
people
to it.
down in the eyes while you recite the lyrics,
Especially on the
quietly to yourself.
Especially on the L train. That's excellent.
Like you're bobbing along and you're like your mouth syncing with the music that's playing, but you're not making any sound. So
Yeah.
you just look at someone and you're like,
Yeah. Yes, just like that. And if I can, what I do is I just hold on to the beat mentally, and then I take the headphones out, and then I just keep doing that so that they are even more freaked out, because there's no reason that I should be bobbing my head, because I'm clearly not listening to anything.
You're listening with your heart instead of your ears.
Yeah, so that really takes
Dave
the creepy
Matthews.
up a notch. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so if you do like Dave Matthews, definitely check out Come Tomorrow. It's completely worth it, and I do recommend it.
What if I can't make it tomorrow?
Well, come the next day.
What if I can't make it then either?
Well, come on back. That's what I would say. Come on back sometime.
Try next week.
Come on back sometime.
That's Dave Matthews' next album. Come on back next week.
The next album will probably be Help, I'm Far Too Old for This. That's what I'm thinking. I mean...
Help, Nickelback is more famous than me.
I will say, I didn't want to spend too much on this, but like... One big prominent member of the Dave Matthews Band is sort of embroiled in this controversy. He basically, apparently, like allegedly sexually harassed a member of one of his other bands, and so he's no longer in the band. And his sound is, he plays the violin, so his like sound is noticeably missed. He is in one of the songs on this album. It is a good song, but Boyd Tinsley, the violinist, is not on any of the other songs on the album, and his future with the band is uncertain. But
Sounds like Brockhampton and Amir. That's another band.
Brockhampton and Amir?
No, just Brockhampton, but there was a member called Amir, and he is now gone.
Oh, because he was diddling.
He was diddling in places he shouldn't be diddling.
Diddling inappropriately?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, if someone leaves something, it's probably from unwanted diddling.
Not to mention, if it's described as diddling, it's inappropriate, right? Like, no one says, like, oh, they're in a relationship. They diddle each other. Like, it's, no, this guy is diddling someone.
It's an aggressive verb.
Yeah.
Diddled.
It's very creepy. Like, it's funny sounding, but, like, the imagery, I think, is, like, it just brings creepy things to mind. Like, don't diddle that person.
Stop
Ew.
diddling me.
What are you doing? Let's go to lunch or something. Jesus. But yeah, that's what I did. I still got the iPod. It's I buried it outside just in case something happened to the box.
Smart move.
Yeah,
I see you've been taking hints from me.
Yeah, I do. I'll be honest. I want to listen to that like after we're done here, regardless of what your feelings on Dave Matthews might be.
Poor.
Yes, that much is clear.
Well, speaking of poor, I couldn't afford to see a movie because I ended up using all my money for Burger King.
Ooh.
But the Logan Theater still has this big, dumb, massive fucking hole.
Yes, it does.
So I just
Walked by there. It's weird.
I played hopscotch on the way in. I was just like, is anyone going to stop me? Mm-hmm. I'm already at Twosies.
And at this point, you're more than halfway inside the theater.
I'm already in the theater. Like, the ground is completely littered with just trash. It's less of a movie theater. It's more turned into like a hostel.
And it's like street trash too. It's not like theater trash. There's
No.
like concrete blocks and stuff.
Yeah, it's odd, but for whatever reason, they keep letting the projectors run and they keep letting like random movies play. And I was like, all right, well, let's see what this week's injuncture is. I don't know if that's a word or not.
It's not.
I'm going to make it one.
Juncture? Is that what
No, injunctured.
Injunctured. I don't think so.
INJUNCKTERED.
That might be a word, actually. With that spelling, I think it qualifies.
Yeah, it's part of the Gregtionary,
Okay. That's
which
right.
we'll be releasing at the same time as my cookbook.
Oh, okay, sick.
Yes.
That's a good thing. You're probably using words in the cookbook that people will have to look up in the Gregtionary.
Yeah, you
right?
kind of have to like use both books at the same time because like
Smart.
I drew a lot of pentagrams and you can only read the pentagregs with the correct Gregtionary words, so
I
then
get
you
it.
can
No,
understand that.
smart.
And then you can only get certain things from subscribing to Greg's List, so you can actually see, the hidden words.
It's a good business move.
I don't think I've been very creative with the hidden words though. They just end up being Greg.
Yeah, it seems like you work Greg into a lot of words.
Yeah,
actually.
I just drew a pentagram, but I wrote Greg all over the place, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What's the word?"
Can they win anything?
They win a chance to see Hereditary with me.
Oh, was that the movie you watched in the
That
theater?
is the movie I went to see in theaters, and it was very, very, very good.
Really?
Yes. So Hereditary is a horror drama directed by Ari Aster, and I believe this is like his first major film role. Like he hasn't really done a whole lot of like in theater movies. Done a lot of like indie shit.
Sure.
And this ended up being a fantastic, very creepy, very unsettling horror movie that harkened back to like the 70s of horror, where it was less about jump scares and more about like just creeping you out. I especially got a lot of like Rosemary's Baby vibes.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of fade-ins and fade-outs. There's a lot of like creepy like caricature faces to showcase like demons and spooky things.
Like lingering impressions, it sounds like.
Yeah. So the film stars Toni Collette, and she is a mother who has just had like this like horrible shit happen to her throughout her whole life. And the movie starts with the death of her mother, who had like onset dementia and whatnot. And it's her trying to cope with her mother's death, as well as trying to get closer to her teenage son and daughter, who are both they both have their issues. The little girl character, played by Millie Shapiro, is fucking great at being really creepy and really awkward. It was so good at setting the mood of the film. So anyway, the basic plot is Toni Collette is trying to overcome her mother's death, but a few other random things happen, and all of a sudden the family finds themselves cursed. And it's about how the family is slowly starting to become haunted by these evil demons and creatures. Yeah, it's a incredibly uncomfortable movie to sit through.
Yeah.
But like in the good way. Where like the movie does its job of making sure you feel super uncomfortable throughout all of it. Especially the daughter character.
So it's like it's unsettling, or like it's like awkward. Like, is it uncomfortable?
Unsettling.
Okay.
It's uncomfortable because the daughter obviously has something wrong with her. She constantly clicks, so she does like a it's like a speech impediment kind of thing, and it just like it weirds everybody out around her.
Damn.
Early on, like the little girl is just in her classroom, like just doing a test or whatever, and a fucking pigeon flies into the window and dies, and you see her take the dead pigeon's body.
Oh no.
She's just creepy and so good at it.
Yeah.
Like it felt completely natural, and that's something I almost never see in child actors.
That's hard. That's like a really hard thing to find, I think. Like that's why good child actors are so revered, I think. It's because it's if you can evoke that much stuff, like Little Miss Sunshine, you know, like if you can evoke those kind of things as such a young person, like that's very impressive.
Look at Daniel Radcliffe,
Kirsten Dunst, like when she was very young,
when she was a child, when she was the fire starter.
Yes, Interview with a Vampire, you know, like
man, Interview with a Vampire,
creepy.
Yeah.
That's like creepy shit.
Haley Joel Osment,
and what, Dakota Fanning? Like, come on.
Fanning. That's Haley Joel Osment. I feel very sorry for, because I think the last movie he was in was called like Sex Ed.
Oh no!
And seeing him now is like
our
age.
I was wondering, is he still voicing Sora in Kingdom Hearts?
He sure as shit is Sora.
I knew he was. He is
still Sora, man.
Yeah.
Because they've had a Kingdom Hearts game happen every 2 years. He's still in them.
Brilliant.
It's great because Sora sounds like he's in his mid-30s.
Sora!
Oh, Sora, how come you sound so old?
Yeah, why'd you grow up like that, you freak?
Only young children can remain in the Disney family.
Yeah, we have a whole space for them in the park.
It's time for a euthanasia there, Sora.
Come on, a little closer there, bud. Yeah, probably. Okay, so Haley
But
Joel,
Hereditary is a lot like that.
Yeah? Creepy.
No, it's not. It's
No
not
Disney
like that.
World stuff.
No Disney World stuff, but it's still creepy. The cinematography is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. Toni Collette's character is an artist, and she makes a lot of like miniatures of like her life events. So the film constantly uses the miniatures as like scene transitions. Like the very beginning of the movie starts in her workshop, and you see the camera pan over to a miniature of like a bedroom, and it starts closing in until you see the husband actually walking into the scene, and it turns into the son Peter's room, and the film goes on from there.
Oh, okay.
A lot of transitions like that are pretty seamless. It's so well constructed. The sound design is so good too. When the actual like haunting stuff happens, you can hear the sounds coming from different parts of the theater.
Wow.
I was sitting there like actually just mega uncomfortable when a lot of the sound effects came on. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
There's a lot of conversations between characters too that are mega awkward, but they're done so well. I especially love like when Toni Collette, she secretly like sneaks off to go to this like lost your loved ones like kind of AA meeting thing, like sit in a circle and grieve.
Right.
And she gives her whole sob story about like how fucked up her life is. She's like, oh, my mom died, she had dementia, and she was really fucking weird when she was living with us. She died in my house. My brother fucking killed himself as a kid. My dad lit himself on fire.
Jeez.
All this other shit. Like, you see her, like, breaking down. And then it does a reverse shot of everyone else in the circle with really uncomfortable looks on their faces.
Yeah, right.
And it's not... And a lot of those moments I thought would be a little silly, but it's so well played until, like, the final 10 minutes. I think the final 10 minutes of the movie are really fucking goofy.
Yeah? In
like,
a good way?
No. Like, more... While the rest of the movie does such a good job at setting the tone at how uncomfortable and how creepy it is, the last 10 minutes just start going, like, woo! Like, it goes, like, Exorcist levels.
Oh, wow, okay.
With, like, the spinning heads and the projectile vomit.
Yeah.
It's stuff that it's like... You ruined it.
Yeah.
You ruined it.
You had me
it
strung
stopped-
along this whole time,
Yeah.
and now you've just lost me.
I can't take this seriously. I'm just going to outright, like, spoil it a little bit. Like, the son Peter is, like, looking around in the room, and you obviously see in the background, like, it's blurred out, like, you can only focus on Peter. You see a silhouette of someone, like, gliding through the air, but they're doing, like, a doggy paddle swim.
What?
And it looks fucking terrible.
What the hell? Why would someone be fucking... Why would a ghost be doggy... Why would anybody be doggy paddling through the air?
Because it's low budgets. There's very little money that went into this movie, which
I see.
I thought was really cool. I've noticed that like there's a trend of very good horror movies lately having little to no budget. But there are times where you can definitely tell there is no budget. Like they use effects of like, this area is infected with flies. The flies are very much like an overlay. Like something that you put in like Windows like Movie Maker.
Oh yeah, sure.
And you just like, oh, here are the flies, and you see like these people just like
half-assedly
like swatting things away.
Okay, there are flies, everyone. Let's act like there are flies in the room.
Just really wiggle your air. Wiggle your arms in the air. Just really wiggle.
Ugh, can we take 5, sir?
My arms are tired.
I need to hit the craft table.
But yeah, other than that, those last 10 minutes, I think this movie is exceptional.
Oh, wow, okay.
This is not for everyone, though. And I think that's what might kill it. I'm hoping that this movie is doing really well. I haven't double-checked in a while. I know critically it's doing great, but I think it's going to have the same response as, like, most art house films with, like, majority audiences of just being like, This is so artsy fartsy and fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Why hasn't the big hero saved the day? Why doesn't he just punch the ghost to death?
Yeah, right.
That doesn't make sense. Boo.
A simplistic conclusion, yeah.
Boo, movie, boo.
Well, right. But like you said, if it's, you know, it's
It's like The Princess Bride, just like some fucking dumbass in the theater. Boo!
Yeah.
Why can't the football player save the team? Boo! Boo!
Where's Andre the Giant? Boo!
Anyone want to be not?
You hear the ghost like you see like the walls come stretched out and you see a silhouette of Andre the Giant's face.
You want a peanut?
Get out!
Whoa. Dre. Yeah, okay, cool. Hereditary. You said, yeah?
Hereditary. It is a great movie, but I think you need to be a little bit more into film to get full enjoyment out of it. I don't think normal audiences will be like super wowed by it.
Sure.
Because it doesn't do jump scares. Like there's maybe like one or two jump scares, but
Yeah.
the horror of it is just the creepy factor of it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'd like to see a return to that. The jump scare thing is so. It's
a lot of, like-
I've never liked it. It's
like-
just so, especially
It's
after-
overdone and
yeah,
it's boring.
especially after they did it a few times. I feel like any, even not avid, but any casual movie watcher has a sense of when a jump scare moment is coming in a movie. Like you get it.
You always hear like that violin, like the.
Yeah, there's so or like silence and someone's approaching like a corner or
And then
something.
as soon as the scary thing happens, it's always that quick violin, like.
yeah, and it's a camera movement and you know,
And
it's
then you
like
hear Scooby Doo scream, "Roinks!"
yeah, and then the little sound of running.
Like the coconuts.
Yeah, like that. Okay, so well, I was going to talk about something else, but I think I went a little longer than I intended to, and we still got this message from everybody that
Oh wow, we've got some
we'd like
more
to bring
Greg's
in here.
list.
Yeah,
Just a reminder, if you want to be a part of the show, send us emails at gregslist@gmail.com. That's 3 G's, regslist@gmail.com.
3 G's at the beginning, not in the middle or end of Greg's name.
No,
that wouldn't make
it's
any
just
sense.
that would be Greg, and that
Right.
doesn't sound as Greg.
Exactly. It's better. It's better the first way. So, yeah, there it is. So we've been, Greg and I have been going through those email boxes from you, and we've picked a few the last couple of weeks, and we decided to do the same thing tonight. This one is from Pat.
Pat.
Hi, Pat.
Hi, Pat. Welcome to the Boxcar Buddies.
Welcome. Thanks for
We're
writing.
your Boxcar Buddies.
Pat says, hi, Boxcar Buddies. Your podcast is okay.
Fuck you, Pat.
Thanks,
Go
Pat.
fuck yourself.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks for the honesty. I'll take it. It's an opinion. You're entitled to it, man.
Your opinion's garbage. We're amazing.
That's right. Damn right we are.
We are the literal Big Dick McCool guys of all time.
The literal.
Yeah,
Greg got McCool guy tattooed on his dick.
I sure did.
Yeah, and he does not regret it at
No,
all. I've
no.
asked him about it multiple times.
And you will always get the same answer. You're damn straight. BD McCG, baby.
That's right. Loves it. Okay, your podcast is okay. Great.
Cool.
This is to Don. All right.
All right, a double fuck you.
Sorry, Greg. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Thanks for shafting me, Pat.
Yeah, nice one, Pat. All right, this is to Don. You've talked about Arrested Development a lot. A lot?
You sure have.
A lot? Really?
A lot.
I don't think it's a lot.
A lot.
Well, even if I do, it's because it's great and everybody should watch it. It's really, really solid
Man, this is
stuff.
like the 7th time you've brought up Arrested Development.
Well, I was prompted this time by Pat. Thanks, Pat. Okay, so yeah, what's your favorite episode? He asks. Good question.
Is it the one where David Cross turns blue?
Right. Because that's is that the extent of like what you know about Arrested Development?
I've watched Arrested Development. I can't remember episode names.
Okay.
I just remember moments.
For sure, and that's totally
Like
fair.
I remember David Cross's character turning into a Blue Man Group, and then he goes out for a night jog, and then he gets hit by a car.
Yes, I know. I think you've brought that part up before too, and I think that might be the only thing you remember from Arrested
No,
Development.
I remember the boy that got his hands eaten by a seal.
Yes, Buster. Buster gets his hand eaten by a seal.
Like episode he gets eaten by the seal, and
Yeah.
then the very next episode he got his other hand taken.
No, it's just one hand. I
thought he had both hands taken.
No, just one. He gets. I think it's his left hand.
I swear he had 2 hooks for hands.
He does not.
I absolutely swear that was the case.
He does not. I can promise you 150% with beyond all certainty.
I swear it.
He's
By
wrong.
The moon and the stars.
Sorry, listener, Greg is wrong. Buster, if anybody would like to email in, feel free. But please let us know. Buster only has one.
I swear he had his dick
hand.
bit off, and then they had to put a hook on his crotch. I swear to Christ, they had to bite off his nose, and now he has a hook for a nose. I remember this.
That's right.
I have elephant-like memory. He's just covered in hooks. He's a porcupine man.
He's Hookman. Yeah.
He's Dustin Hoffman. He's the hook.
That's right. Not quite. There is a hook. Buster does have the one. Pat, to get back to your question, favorite episode, it's a tough call because, as we've established, I do love the show. But Season 2, Episode 4 comes to mind, Good Grief. There are several great episodes in that season, but Good Grief is... I've watched it so many times. I love it to death. It has to do with the family is informed that George Sr. died down in Mexico, and so they have a funeral for him. Job elects to do a magic trick where he's going to get buried instead of the body they don't have from George Sr., and he's going to escape from the coffin, and it's going to be great, but obviously that blows up in his face. The grandpa pops up, George Sr.'s in the attic, and George Michael's the only one that knows he's there. So Michael Cera is going up to the attic and bringing food to Jeffrey Tambor, and Jeffrey Tambor's watching his own funeral happen as his family talks about him. It's so entertaining for a lot of different reasons, and I guess if I had to pick a favorite, Pat, that would be it. Season 2, Episode 4, Good Grief. That's probably my favorite episode.
What about the episode... when Buster replaced all the hooks on his body and replaced them with foot.
That one I'm still waiting to see. I think that was going to be really good.
He replaces his entire hook back, and he decides to become a superhero known as Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's right, and he helps everybody hang their clothes up to dry.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I think that's coming out.
He just had so many hooks. Coming out of every orifice of his body. They replaced his tongue with a hook.
Like his pores. Like out of every pore was like a hook. He was like a giant tin man with individual hooks.
They called him a literal Spider-Man because as soon as he placed his hand on something, he could just elevate himself.
Stick to it. Yeah, he had that stick to it.
It was like that Sam Raimi, like, Spider-Man, like, he puts his hand out, dun, 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 dun,
yes,
dun, dun, dun.
and just stuck to the walls with his hooks. Exactly. Yeah,
that make a lot of scraping noises.
Second half of season 5, I think that's when that's probably going to come out. It'll be interesting.
Yeah,
but Pat's just finishing up the email. That's it, Pat. Season 2, Episode 4. Thanks. I wish you guys wouldn't talk about poop so much. Well,
make me.
Guess what? You do your own podcast, and you don't or talk about whatever you do or do not want to. We're going to talk about poop as much as we damn well please.
I don't want to talk about poop right now, though.
I don't either.
My face hurts real bad.
Yeah, and I kind of like my stomach hurts. Like I might have to poop after the episode. I don't want to talk about this. Okay. And then he ends with bring Draco back. What is with this?
Everyone wants the psychopathic dragon. Do they want us to be eaten?
If you like the show, why would you want us to bring a dragon back that threatens our very existence? He might seem...
I mean, he is charismatic.
Yeah, I know.
He's got an aura of danger to him, which I think is very likable.
It's very sexy.
He's got a face that could be on a t-shirt.
Great smile. He's got a great smile with dragon teeth. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as he's got... It's very easy for him to get, like, things stuck in there, though.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I've seen, like, all kinds of stuff in there. I've
seen like, whole sheep.
Whole sheep shirts, bed sheets. I've seen, like, all kinds of stuff in there.
Like shingles.
Yes. Both roof tiles and the disease. The diseased skin. Like a flap of human skin with shingles.
I feel like he's a walking euthanasia clinic because he just walks up to people like, "You want to die there, son?"
Which country in Asia? Chinese kids?
Youth.
Japanese kids?
Youth.
Yeah.
Youth in Asia.
Euthanasia. Right.
It's youth in Asia.
Anyone younger than 12 in Asia. Right.
Mm-hmm. He just looks at them and is like, "You have any you know where I can find someone who has a death wish?"
And they don't speak.
Tell me!
Because they're scared. They're terrified.
They're terrified because a fully grown Western-style dragon flew into their country asking for food.
Understandable. Exactly. So, and also, even if we could bring him back, we have no control over him. We can ask, we can certainly like put a message out, but there's no.
I don't necessarily have full weaponry that can really take him down.
Yeah, we don't want to bring him back exactly until we're prepared. So thank you, Pat. Pat from Northbrook. Thanks, Pat.
Cool.
Thanks for the question. Appreciate you writing in, and that's that. So anyway, just to recap, Hereditary. Greg, a little bit art housey, but you might enjoy it. Lingering, uncomfortable, unsettling horror film. And Dave Matthews Band, Come Tomorrow, the June 2018 album. It's definitely worth your time. I highly recommend it, especially if you're a fan of the band. But it's a great album either way. And that's that. So now, Greg, what are you doing, bud?
Getting the last of this aloe out.
Oh, you're not. He said you're not supposed to eat it. He said you weren't supposed to do that. Oh.
It tastes so good, though.
Does it? It looks like pudding. Does it taste like pudding?
No, it tastes like green slime.
Like the Nickelodeon stuff?
Yeah, like gack.
Oh, gack.
Everyone remembers gack. You ever make your own gack?
No, not on purpose.
I did.
Really?
Yeah, and then I got in trouble because I ate it before my dad got a bite.
Oh, he was pissed.
Oh, he was mad.
I could see him.
That was
being
when
mad
the
about
first
that.
life debt came into question.
Wow, he's been calling these in since you were a kid.
Yeah,
you probably
I
have a
usually
lot of
pay
life
them
debt.
off.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
except this last one.
So your credit's good with him overall.
Not right now. It's not. It
Right.
was good.
Okay.
When we started the show.
Yeah.
And then after we started the show, it got bad.
You're still looking for Gollum to settle that, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna bite that fucker down. I'm gonna take his robot legs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn it into a toaster, and then I'm gonna take his normal arms and give them to my father so that he may consume them.
You're a good son. That's nice. That's a nice
It's
gesture.
a Father's Day present that's been delayed by several weeks,
That's all right. But,
months,
I'm sure your dad will
a
appreciate it.
year, a couple years.
This is a Father's Day gift from years ago.
We'll say that this is a Father's Day gift that I owed him like 20 years ago.
Gotcha. I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
I think he'll be fine.
It's a lot of anticipation.
Yeah.
It'll be sweet. Be a sweet payoff.
I think it will be big. Like
Big.
Big bow. Like I'll have fireworks going off.
Totally.
I'll play some kind of like band. I don't know. Can't think of anything that he would really like. Do you know a band that's like specifically for like older men, like mid to late 50s, preferably white guys?
Rush? The band Rush?
No, that's Canadian. We're looking something that's more Americana.
Okay.
Stuff about rain.
Prince. No?
No.
Purple Rain?
No. I'm thinking like
Fish.
no, like that's kind of what I'm looking for. Something jammy.
Uh-huh.
But not like stoner jammy. I'm thinking like Budweiser jammy.
Now I think the Dave Matthews Band would really fit in there. I think your dad would be lucky to have some Dave Matthews Band playing at the Father's Day
Oh,
party.
but he hates Dave Matthews Band. I'm looking for a band that's like help me out here, man. Like I'm trying to think. Like Pink Floyd?
Maybe
That's still too stonery.
U2? Is he a U2 fan?
I mean, it's Irish.
Yeah. That's not bad.
It's not bad. But it could be a little less like
Rolling Stones?
that's too British.
Billy Joel. Now we're talking, right? Bruce Springsteen. Is he still doing stuff?
Springsteen. There we go. Let's
Okay.
find. You know what?
Yeah.
He plays in Jersey a lot.
You want to go to Jersey?
I mean, we're already in this boxcar. We just need to give it a nice little nudgeroony, and I think we could take this all the way to the East Coast. What do you say?
Okay. That's what we're going to do. Listeners, thank you very much. We always appreciate your ears. And, again, just to recap real quick, Hereditary, just okay. Dave Matthews Band, Come Tomorrow is amazing. Do check it out.
Hey, Hereditary is great. It's just not for everybody.
Gotcha. Dave Matthews Band is for everybody who knows better. And it's great.
It sure isn't.
It's great. Everyone's going to love it. And then, that's it. We're going to push this thing, and we're going to head to the East Coast, and we'll talk next week. We'll tell you all about it. Thanks again. You guys are great. Okay. All right. Brace yourself. I'm going to push this thing.
Give it a push, baby.
Here we go.
Yeah, baby. Give it a big old push. Don't strain your back.
I got to rock with it.
Don't strain your back. I said don't.
Greg,
Yeah?
it happened again.
You strained your back?
I can't move. I can't move back here.
What if I do this? Or if I kick you a couple times?
I'm frozen.
What if I threaten you?
I'm frozen so bad.
Oh, it sounds like your back is a lot like my face.
Oh.
It just hurts.
Do you have any of that aloe left?
No.
You dick.
You don't use aloe for sore muscles.
I would have used it for anything.
You just wanted to eat it, didn't you?
I'm hungry too.
Well, the only place you'll get it is off my face.
No, I can't move.
Don't you want some?
No.
Come on and get it, big boy.
I can't move.
Come and get this slimy face.
Oh, God.
Give it a lickaroony.
This is really torturous.
Bite into it like ice cream. Just
Okay. I'm gonna move now, and I'm going away. I'm gonna put on my iPod, and I'm walking away from here. I'm gonna go to the clinic.
yeah, you better. Tell Freak he's still a dick.
I won't. I need him to save me.